We just got back from Venom, guys. And if you don't know by now, the internet, or the critics rather, is savaging this movie, just tearing it to shreds. What is the rating?
29.
Good God.
It's lower than Night School.
Oh my God, 29% for Venom. Tom Hardy's entrance into the cinematic universe. Well, it's more Sony, but in cooperation with Marvel. They're trying to keep that separate. And he's got his origin story here. So, I will report to you right away. Is it as bad as the critics say?
No. But it's close.
Is it?
It's close.
Is it an extremely good movie?
No.
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately, I am sad to report, but happy that it's not that bad, that the critics said. But it is a stupid film.
Not a stupid good one either, though.
No, it's bad.
It's stupid. It takes a, how shall I say, a goofy a kind of approach to Venom instead of what I was hoping for, this dark approach. Venom is an anti-hero.
They turned him into comedy relief.
Yes, that's what I mean. And a lot of the jokes do not land. So you got a lot of cringe moments, especially when the movie goes off the rails in the third act and that little reveal there at the end. It's like, oh no, I was kind of on board for the film, honestly, throughout the first part.
Yes, so was I. But as soon as I heard it's going to be PG-13, I really feel like they hindered it big time.
Yeah. Big
because
time.
Venom is supposed to be this guy that just tears
Eats
people apart. Yeah, and eats them.
I don't expect them to actually tear somebody apart on screen, but I do expect a little more blood and a little bit more visceral.
Yeah, I want to see that, but it sucks because now it's like you had this amazing weapon, but you just have blanks you're shooting. There's no fun. It sucks.
It really should have been R. I think they were promising when they first was doing it that it'd be R. Somehow turned to PG-13 as, oh no, it's always meant to be PG-13. We think that holds the film back, but I actually think there are more fundamental flaws, tonal flaws. The tagline, Joe. You kept telling me about the tagline. What's the tagline for this?
The tagline The tagline we saw was, "We don't need any more heroes," but yet
the world doesn't need any more heroes. Yet they treat Venom as 100% a hero. He is 100% a good guy. He's got a big heart. He's a big loser, basically, And unfortunately, it kind of goes. And here's the thing: this film really needed Spider-Man. I think if it would have been a much better film with Spider-Man. The plot line, no spoilers. We'll talk about spoilers in the spoiler section. But basically, this is an origin story for Tom Hardy's Venom. Comes from space, and it has to do with him taking on the Life Corporation, who is monitoring 4 symbiotes that are come back from a comet. And basically, Venom has to do battle with one of the other symbiotes in order to save the world. And Venom very quickly wants to save the world, and very quickly decides that Tom Hardy is his best friend.
Yeah, that's it. That's what happened. And they tried to be funny, and they failed. And there
were some funny moments. You will be laughing. I laughed
there's a
more.
couple, but they
More
tried the entire film to make you laugh. And they did not do a very good job. They sprinkled some action in, and most of it wasn't satisfying. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
That one clip they released that I was like, oh man, we were like, yeah, this is Venom. And that's the best action. That's the best action scene when Venom fights a SWAT team. So you're getting the best that the movie will offer in terms of action in the scene that's already been released to the public. There's the motorcycle scene, what I already said in one of our trailer reactions was cheesy. Turns out to be pretty cheesy looking. It's cool as riding a motorcycle if you're into motorcycles, but I don't know.
You totally tell his stunt double.
Yeah.
When he's riding through, it's like, that's totally not Tom.
And then it does culminate in a huge CGI fight. We're talking on the levels of Black Panther bad. of a CGI fight between these two big muscly things. But you have the added difficulty of the symbiote. Now, live action symbiotes, a lot of people have said, oh, the CGI sucks. Like they show this image of him with his hand turning into a fist before he punches a guy as somehow really bad CGI. I thought that the CGI was okay. Now, it was bad in certain parts. You could tell it's an effect, but it's really difficult. So I feel for the movie that it tries to stay as accurate as possible to the symbiote and the way the symbiote moves, because in the comics it does get very blotchy, it does spread itself out, it does all these things, but it just doesn't lend itself well to live action, or at least maybe the talent that this particular studio has. So they did it about as well as they could have done it. But my preference in the fight scenes between these two huge symbiotes is, instead of tearing each other apart kind of thing, I'm just more looking for a little bit more practical effects, a little bit more fight choreography rather than just bumbling around with each other and forming improvised weapons. And
I don't think they could have saved that scene at all.
Yeah. And a lot of plot holes, a lot of plot lines just kind of left in the dust. Yeah. He has a girlfriend in the film, and she plays a larger factor than I thought she would. But a lot of her scenes make a little, don't really make sense the way the symbiote interacts with her. By the way, they fixed symbiote. They fixed the pronunciation of symbiote. I don't know whether they did that in ADR, because they got it wrong in the trailer, and they're saying symbiote, or so, I don't know what they were saying. But I'm glad they fixed it. And it kind of shows you maybe the pull between trying to be true to the Venom character and trying to capitalize off of the MCU's comedy and things like that, because I was really hoping for a much darker film, a film that really focuses on the anti-hero elements of Venom. Yeah. And this doesn't do that at all. It is, you could substitute this Spider-Man in there, just be a much worse Spider-Man film.
Do you think they were trying to make a Deadpool type film where it's like, we're going to do this own anti-hero thing, we're going to put action in there, it's going to be funny? And if that was the case, they did a really bad job.
Yeah, it pales in comparison to Deadpool. Now, don't get us wrong, let's talk about the positive things on the film, okay? Because we trashed it a little bit there. But Joe, what are some of the positive aspects of the film?
I really liked that they cut 40 minutes.
I can't ever put you on the spot, Joe. Okay, let me do one. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no. See, this is pretty hard because I honestly did not like this movie. One aspect I did kind of like was, I guess, the beginning whenever he fuses with Venom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the voice and stuff.
Yeah, they could
the voice and the interaction.
More of that. I want to see more of the bonding with that, but they were just like.
However, we've seen it done better.
Yeah, upgrade. Yeah. Obviously.
He was talking about it earlier.
Yeah. So this one is like basically he fuses with Brock. He's like, well, I know everything about you, so let's fast forward into the next scene. I was like, well, no, you guys need a bond or what's going on? Play it up a bit or something, but there was not enough of that for me.
Not enough of the bonding, right?
But that had potential. I did like that in the beginning stages.
What about you? Did you find anything that you liked in the movie?
I did like the same scene where they're bonding a little bit. There were some really funny parts. And then the more that Venom was really funny, the more I didn't like it. The more that they're like, okay, so he's not going to do anything other than be comic relief the entire time.
But I think Venom is a little bit like that in the comics. He's a little bit of an oddball. And I think that's coming from a little bit of his psychosis, but it's under control with Eddie Brock a little bit. Okay, so I think what these guys are picking up on, and my positives of the film, is that I love Venom. I think if you just took Venom out and looked at his design, obviously they didn't use the Venom logo. Yeah. That is it sucks for me. But this looks like Venom. This isn't Topher Grace's Venom. This is Venom. I think they did his design really great. 9 out of 10 on that. His voice, 10 out of 10. I just love the way he sounds.
You thought that Venom looked good, though?
Oh, yeah. I thought Venom looked great. He is the muscular Venom that he is from the comics. He is sorely missing his logo, but that is how I would like him to look if he ever met Spider-Man.
Shiny and rubber-looking and fake-looking anytime he was in a scene, like big as Venom was, like in like some of the final scenes. Those scenes you see in the trailer,
I disagree. I
where he's
think
picking him up.
Design was perfect. And I liked his bonding with Tom Hardy, this whole angle that they are outcasts, because that's a little bit from the comics as well. But it really more seems like Venom is in control of Eddie rather than them working together. I mean, by the end of the film, you're like, why does Venom even need Eddie, really? Other than the fact that they have symbiosis together, you know? I was hoping for a little bit more cooperation. We do get that a little bit towards the end, but I was hoping for that. Also, the film is 2 hours and 20 minutes. And you would think, what the fuck? This is way too long. And I hate it when critics are like, oh, well, you can shave 30 minutes off this film, blah, blah, blah. This is one of the easiest criticisms. But this film, I felt like the pacing was good. Like it never dragged to me. So I'll say the pacing is good. There's plenty of scenes of before Venom, bonding with Venom, and then the epic fight at the end. So, I mean, I was never bored. Were you bored?
I didn't think there was. I agree that there was no pacing problem. Like there was always stuff happening, but there was so much unnecessary stuff. And I always feel like the directors or the writers get so ambitious where they want to make Venom, but they also want to tell a different story, but they don't want to do what a Venom movie needs to do.
Right.
And they want.
So who's the film for?
I don't know. I don't know who this movie's for.
What were you saying?
That they tried to do too much. Like they tried to give us too much of his backstory. They tried to develop too much of the love interest, too much, and then they ignored the character development between Tom Hardy, between Eddie, and between the symbiote. Like you don't get any of that, and that's what we want in this movie. And then we got more character development. Like I get it, the bad guy's a bad guy.
They set up the boss.
Stop it. And then they're like, okay, well, where's the action scenes? It's like, oh, well, you got 30 seconds of that. What, you want more?
Yeah, you get 3 set-piece action scenes. You get the motorcycle, you get the SWAT team, and you get the final fight at the end. And none of them are really that
trailer,
memorable.
which is kind of sad.
Right. And what was released online. So overall, the villain, what'd you think there? Was the villain good, bad, weak? Weak?
Yeah.
I hate how these symbiotes all have names. Like, I was like, please stop calling him Riot, you know?
Riot.
No, just stop it. It sounds hokey. I just want, you know, it sucks. I will say that the leader, you know, that's the skinny billionaire, super smart scientist who wants to push humanity forward.
Drake, yeah.
Yeah, Drake, Industries or whatnot. He significantly... he believes in what he's doing. You know, he plays that out very well on screen. You believe that he believes that he's doing the right thing. And so I liked that aspect of it. Unfortunately, Riot, his other half, doesn't really... oh, shit. Did I spoil it? Unfortunately...
No, you see it in the trailer. You know that they're...
Okay, well, fine. Fuck it. Riot isn't really up to par with Venom. But boy, I can't help but you know, like Venom and Tom Hardy in the film, even though Tom Hardy really is such an awkward, eccentric performance. But that's part of what made it watchable for me, because he was acting so bumbly and weird in a sense. Like he reminded me of Men in Black, you know, the guy's
yes,
like, hugger.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
He's just a fucking slob and always sweating, I guess, because when a symbiote's with you, your body temperature's through the roof or something. I don't know.
Believe that that's the best investigative journalist in the whole country?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, this guy's kind of an idiot. Like, how is he the best investigative journalist in
Exactly.
the world?
That leads to some plot holes. He's supposed to be a loser, but is he really a loser? He had this most successful investigative journalism that does better journalism than in real life because he's a fan amongst people. You know, his girlfriend has a boyfriend character come in, and they have a little bit of a friendship there, you know. And so the subplot is kind of interesting in that way. But you've seen these things done better in other films, and it's like an amalgamation of all these different things that kind of follows through tropes. I've seen some comments that this film kind of follows old school superhero films. And this really was an opportunity to try something different, to give us something darker, going even further than, say, a Deadpool in the anti-hero direction. But ultimately wrapping it up in a positive way where you could get behind Venom. And you could still do that, but it felt more like a little bit of a CGI fest and a throwaway popcorn film by the end. Entertaining enough?
No.
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
unfortunately not for me.
All right. Well, let's go with final verdicts then, in that case, and then we'll talk about all the nitty gritty and spoilers, unless you guys can think of anything else that we wanted to cover.
Not with us.
Actually, what are we going to spoil? They spoiled everything in this.
We got one.
We'll talk about
some
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
The plot holes, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what would you rate the film out of 10?
I'm going to go a 4.
Okay, so right in line with I thought most people were saying before it took the big dump on.
Yeah, it's
on
not
TV.
it's not as bad as people.
So
think
slightly
it is.
below average.
Yeah, this is a below average film. Like if you are a Venom fan, you're gonna hate this movie. If you have no,
See, that's where it comes from because he knows some of the Venom backstory. So Venom fans, you think will hate it?
I think we'll hate it. I think
It is a departure in many ways from the.
If you know nothing about it and you think that he's kind of plucky and funny and he's supposed to make you laugh every time he talks, then maybe you'll like this. It's slower than a comic book movie. It's not as action filled as it needs to be. It's not as funny as it's trying to be.
Wow,
And then combine that all together, it's not like they combine together to make something that's serviceable. They really do kind of a poor job. I don't even know if this deserves a 4, but I think as of right now, we just finished seeing it. I think
You were thinking about lower.
Yeah.
But maybe the Venom character and Tom Hardy enough.
I like Tom Hardy. I think
Yeah.
Riz Ahmed did.
I'm not sure.
He did a very good job. There was just so much not to like about this movie, but it's not
so many
horrible.
plot holes too.
Oh,
yeah, but it's not horrible. So 4 out of 10 from Alex. Joe?
I'm gonna agree, a 4 out of 10. I did not like the end scene. The fight was very weak in my eyes. The rating hindered it for me.
Yeah,
It was
PG-13. Okay.
PG-13. I wanted to go see more of a Venom upgrade.
Yeah,
kind of
dude.
film.
Man, you
That
just
was-
want to
that was
take those two
cool.
films and meld them together, but
Yeah.
way more of Upgrade and then just pluck the Venom creature and Tom Hardy and give it to that director. I think the main problem here was the director of this film who also did Zombieland.
Yes.
Which is why, well, we'll talk about that in spoilers. There's a twist at the end. Not a twist, but an after credits scene that tries to set up and introduce things. But boy, is it cringe. It's not quite the cringe level of The Predator with its iron thing, but this is pretty close. But fascinating in a way. So, final verdict from me. These guys 4 out of 10. I think I enjoyed it a bit more than they did. I surprisingly, if you turn your brain off and you're just looking at Topher Grace's Venom, then you're probably happy that at least it's not that. And so you're like maybe in the 6 out of 10 area, slightly above average. But no, just wait. But no, I can't give it that because there are so many plot holes, because it takes deviations from the comics and what I was hoping to see, a little bit darker tone. This film seems confused. It's an anti-hero, but not at all. He's 100% a hero. Just a plucky goofball, you know? And I didn't really want a goofball Venom. I wanted a scary, cool motherfucker Venom.
Yeah, and you
know?
can sprinkle the goofiness.
And you can sprinkle it, right? But he is hilarious. He's constantly making jokes. He loves fucking tater tots and chocolate. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Everybody's reaction to Venom is like, oh yeah, that's cool. He's a fucking alien, and everybody's like, yeah, all right, well, you know. And there's so many plot holes in it, and I really, really wanted to like the film more than this. Especially, I was encouraged by some of those, but unfortunately, I have to report to you guys that it is an average film at best, 5 out of 10. All right, we can talk about exactly why in the spoilers. However, would you recommend seeing it in theaters? No. No. Well, here's the thing.
You would?
No, because you want to know why? I don't know if this is going to be a part of just the promotional screening we saw, because we saw this one day early from a Thursday showing, so Wednesday. But at the end, they showed a bit of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, almost like a whole fucking scene. Almost as if Sony had no confidence in this film and was like, hey, check this film out. I know, but I walked down to the theater all positive because that little segment, I hate to say this, it It was way more engaging and almost better than almost everything that I had seen, except for some of the camaraderie between Tom Hardy and Venom. That I was like, damn, I cannot wait for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So I don't know if that's it. It's after the credits. You guys will have to tell me when it releases. So I'm encouraged by that, but it really puts into perspective. Seeing that so close to what you just saw with Venom, Venom just doesn't hit where it needs to hit. So yeah, 5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stick around for spoilers talk if you've seen it already or you don't mind. And yeah, all right. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. Okay, welcome to the spoiler section. Joe, what was the last little twist there?
The last twist was basically the symbiotes were going to come here and take over the planet. They were gonna,
there's millions of them.
Yeah, basically turn all of us into hosts. But Venom has a change of heart. Why?
We don't know.
Because, I'll tell you why, because he likes it here. And he's a bit of a loser. He even says it. He's like, I'm a loser.
Yeah,
he says that in the forest when they're walking
quick
together. He's like, I'm
line,
like
though.
you, a loser on my planet. And that's why they bonded so well, which is kind of in the comics, sort of. Eddie Brock was a bit of a loser, but Venom not really. So they make Venom a loser, and he's a loser. They say, and then he's like, I want to defend, and this is my planet, and I'm gonna protect these people.
I didn't believe it.
No,
I
me
didn't
neither.
believe it.
I liked how in the trailer it kind of made it seem like Venom had some kind of sinister agenda.
Yeah.
And you weren't sure whether you could trust him. That's not in the film at all. And the trailers did a little bit.
No, there was
What's that?
5 minutes where he's like, I need to go get the rockets because he was going to do the mission.
Yeah, you're right.
So for 5 minutes, he's the bad guy going to take over the world, and then something happens that we don't see
Off screen.
It's probably the 40 minutes that was graciously cut out of this film. That explain
How
all that.
There's no 40 minutes cut out there. Oh, you're just assuming.
No, they cut 40 minutes out of this film.
Get the fuck out of here. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
You say this is a 3-hour film?
Yeah, Tom Hardy said in an interview that like I don't know how accurate it was. He said that his favorite scenes in the whole film, all of them were cut out.
Holy shit.
All of the dark comedy stuff.
That would explain a lot of the things because there's a huge plot hole. We'll get to. By the way, Joe, the twist I was talking about was Woody Harrelson's character. But that's good that you say.
Okay.
All right, but here's something that felt completely like I have no idea what the fuck happened. So a side plot is that the symbiote, as it's trying to bond with you, it can eat away at your organs if it doesn't feed, right? And so we learned that the symbiote is slowly killing Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Venom is killing Tom
Eddie
Hardy.
Brock. And his girlfriend discovers this, and she finds a way cleverly to get it out of him. Ex-fiance, right? And she turns on the MRI machine, and it spits out, and then they're separated. And he's like, all right, I'm fucking leaving. And he just leaves this doctor and his ex-fiance to deal with this extremely dangerous creature on there. There's so many stupid moments. So he just leaves, walks out the door, and they're like, what the fuck do we do? And they turn around, it's not there because it goes, as they're talking, it goes up into the vents. It possesses a little Chihuahua dog.
I thought I was going to get some like ridiculous, like a dog was going to take over.
Start fighting
all this SWAT team. I was like, oh God.
Damn.
It would have been better.
It would have been better. But no, eventually, you know, as his girlfriend's leaving, the dog sees him, and it's all completely off screen. She turns into Venom. So it's cool that they got She-Venom in there. You know, from the comics, it's like, wow, I didn't expect this. She later on in the film, she encounters him in the forest. He's about to die because the security guards from Life Corporation, you know, are going to take him out. It kills everybody, and she's got some curves on him, and she just walks up to him and starts making out with him.
Yeah, and he was really into it before she comes out of the Venom suit, and it's
He has
real
no idea.
weird.
That could have been Riot. I mean, we saw Riot already transform.
the last symbiote
To be
he saw
fair,
was Riot. Yeah.
those curves.
Those curves, though? Okay. All right, so through the kiss, he gets the suit back. But after that scene, she's like 100% on board with this whole Venom thing. She's like, rah, rah, go get him, Tom Hardy. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's do this together. Yeah, like, I'm going to fight too. Like, I could do this and I could do that. But we just saw her at the hospital. Like, get this fucking thing off of you. We need you. Let's kill it. And it's like, what just happened? It feels like there's a huge chunk of the movie missing with that plot hole. By the way, the Venom thing likes her.
Yes.
Right? She noticed after the SWAT scene, he's like freaking maiming these cops, not killing them because he's trying not to kill them. And she comes around the corner and sees him about to eat a cop, and then he like transforms back into Tom Hardy and he comes towards her. And she just reacts like it's no big deal.
Yeah, get in the car. I gotta take you to the hospital. It's like, you were just a monster. Like, you stay away from me. Like, you cannot get in that car.
I don't know how loyal your girl or wife is, but damn, that's some loyalty. Fine.
Ex-fiance.
Okay, fine, right? But Venom is like, I like her. He's like, encourages him to get in the car. He gets in the car and then proceeds to tell her all of his weaknesses. Venom is telling her his specific weaknesses, which is Sonic at a certain frequency, and fire. And he's like, oh, and fire. You know, these kinds of things. It's like, no, why is he doing that? Is it because Venom's a loser and he's an idiot?
The audience has to know.
Because he is a loser and an idiot, apparently. That's a part of his backstory on his planet. He's the runt of the litter kind of thing. But I do like that he wanted to repair their relationship, and he kind of repaired a little bit of their relationship and made that scene cool. I liked it, or touching. So he comes with, and then there's another plot hole. What happened to the fourth symbiote? It didn't make it clear enough. It didn't make it clear enough because we have 4. One escapes right away. So you have 3 in the lab. We saw one of them die because Drake makes a point of it, like, where were you? Why weren't you watching it? Because the host died and the symbiote died. And he's very upset about that one dying. So let's call that one fourth escape. Let's call that one the third one, right? And then, oh shit, that is the moment. No, it's not.
Maybe one died.
No, it's not. So you have Venom and Riot. Where is that fourth one?
It died.
They may have shown it died.
Yeah, I think it died.
Floor.
But it wasn't clear.
It wasn't.
So you're telling me 2 died in the lab?
Yes.
2 died.
Really, it only showed 1 die. In my eyes, it showed 1 die.
I mean, if we were looking for it, we probably could have seen it.
Was it the first guy, the homeless dude that was getting and since he died, that symbiote died as well?
Maybe
but they
it was the
didn't
rabbit
really
one.
make it clear that because he was like, oh, that was cool. Let's bring in another host. Well, that means that symbiote's still alive because they bring in another host, right? I never saw the 4th fucking symbiote. So I thought that, oh shit, man, this is going to be great. We're going to see Scream. We're going to see, a different symbiote show up here where you didn't expect it. Or maybe that symbiote, even though it was yellow, will maybe turn into Carnage somehow. And at the end of the film, I keep looking for Woody Harrelson because, like idiots, they announced that Woody Harrelson was in the film months before the fucking film came out. And is he in the film? But no, Carnage is not in the film. We have Woody Harrelson playing Charlie. Who's the name of the Carnage character? I don't know. I forget his name. He's just a psychomaniac in maximum security prison.
It was so crazy.
He looks horrible. He looks like a redhead Cabbage Patch doll with like this weird short curly afro thing on Woody Harrelson. It looks horrible.
I thought it was Jesse,
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
And I thought it looked like the movie Clown on Netflix.
Yes.
It looked like a wig, and I was like, oh god, it looks so bad. And then he's like,
he ended with a terrible pun.
Yeah, he's like, there's gonna be carnage. He says it. He says there's gonna be carnage. Ooh, a double entendre. There's gonna be carnage. As in the character, but he's also not really. He's just saying, if I ever get out of here, I'm just gonna kill more people. But the only way to save that would be if he went and he turned in and he looked 100% comic accurate. That maybe would have saved it because he is Carnage. But when you just say Carnage, it's like, wait, so he knows the name of the symbiote Carnage before it happens, or it just so happened to be that he will cause Carnage and whatever. If you don't know, Carnage is the offspring of Venom. So I was like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna work out. They could have really just done this film much better without all the plot holes, without all these cutout parts. It seems.
I just feel like they were trying to do too much. They're reaching for the stars, but they just fell flat.
This one failed in the same way that a lot of the original ones did, where they're trying to give us too much of the origin and the backstory. And even if people aren't familiar, you can wrap that up pretty quick and make that 15, 20 minutes in the beginning. And this felt like we got like an hour and a half of like, this is what Venom is, before Venom does any... And Venom doesn't even do any Venom stuff. He just makes you laugh by saying silly things.
Yeah.
Exactly. He doesn't really... I mean, he's not using webs. He's more just, clawing into walls and stuff, which... he's not run into Spider-Man yet, so it's not like he's mimicking Spider-Man, doesn't have the logo. Basically, this would have been a stronger film if Spider-Man was incorporated in some way. And without that, they decided to go with the symbiote battle. And the symbiote battle just doesn't translate on screen. It doesn't have the emotional impact that it would if you had Peter Parker in here in some way. And just, their villainy, their fight. I'm hoping that, I don't know. I hear the film is making money. I hear it's like on track for 56 million. So it's like doing better than Predator. It's probably going to do 70 million, maybe even more. So it seems like it's going to possibly do well enough to get a sequel anyway. Now, maybe they can fix and take all this feedback and give us a better film. If you're going to do Carnage, do Maximum Carnage and bring in Spider-Man to where these two have to team up and take on Carnage, because Carnage is way more powerful than Venom. He's just stronger, and if it's just gonna be Tom Hardy versus Carnage, Venom versus Carnage only outside of the MCU, I'm not sure if it's gonna... New director, please. I'm not sure if it'll work, basically, is what I'm saying. Would you like to see a sequel?
No.
I feel like it's gonna be the same battle like this one, but just change the tint.
Exactly, the CGI stuff will be the same damn thing.
It's gonna be the same thing.
With instead of a muscular big one, he's fighting a skinny big one that can form into things.
Yeah.
You need the Spider-Man angle. You need the hero working with anti-hero kind of thing. But they've already kind of spoiled that. It's just hero working with hero now, basically.
Yeah.
So, all right. Venom is out. We don't know if this is gonna go anywhere. I really wanted it to be better so that Marvel would integrate it with the MCU and do that dream scene where Venom meets Spider-Man and he sees him and he mimics him and boom, there comes the logo, I don't know if that's gonna happen now. Ha!
Keep it out.
Ha!
Now I'm just scarred with seeing Woody Harrelson with that hair.
Oh.
I know, it was so bad. I mean, I think Woody Harrelson's kind of perfect to play the role of the crazed Carnage, but he just looked weird. I don't know. I don't even know if he's perfect. It almost feels like
A throwaway?
sequel baiting in the hardest way they can, and they're not really serious about making Woody Harrelson Carnage in the next film. They're not. I guess they are, but like that? Oh, shit, man. All right.
Skip it.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
No. Okay.
No more.
That's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching.